And now, World Improv Network proudly presents Community Court.
When two parties cannot solve a dispute, community court is there to solve the problem. See?
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the Carpenter John Vicarro, brother of Honorable Kenneth Vicarro.
Bailiff Clive, it's the first time I've shared the courtroom with you or anything else. You are the brother of Cliff. And, well, since I'm not really a judge, and though I watch all of my brother's episodes, I know exactly how he rules, I know his mindset, we grew up together, and I don't know if you have the same relationship with your brother, Cliff, but you're actually a ballroom dancer, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great to have two non-legal people here in the court to make such an important legal ruling over something.
Yeah, I was actually a Midwestern champion.
Oh, yeah, really? Mm-hmm. So what part of the Midwest were you dancing in? And
I was coming out of Indiana.
Junior, what's so funny about Indiana? I think that's a pretty cool state. Isn't what the Hoosiers in the story about the Hoosiers from Indiana? Basketball award? All right, so what kind of award did you get? I mean, you said you're a champion, so how does that work?
Well, I go to other competitions and I represent the Midwest. We got nationals coming up here in a few weeks, and I'm going to be dancing to Grieg Hall of the Mountain King.
Well, that's pretty cool.
One of my favorite classic pieces.
Well, can you show me some of that stuff maybe after the case here?
Be happy to. You don't mind if I lead?
No, that'd be cool.
Okay.
No, I have no problem with that. Obviously, my brother's a leader, and I'm taking in his footsteps, so you might as well show me some footsteps as well.
My pleasure. All
right. Well, we got some very, very important topic here to address in a very important case, because this is a case of misrepresentation and slander. And, Clive, I mean, I know that you're a dog owner and a dog lover, and so this kind of strikes near and dear to your heart.
Yeah, I've been a Dachshund owner. Dachshund.
Yeah, you like Dachshunds? They're cool dogs.
Yeah.
They're pretty cool. They're those long wiener dogs, right? Pretty cool. Well, what we have here is Mr. Tyrone Lee. Hello, how are you? I'm fine. And you are suing MSNBC Network for misrepresentation and slander because of Pitbull reporting. Is that correct? Yes. I want to say that every time they show a dog attack on television, especially when somebody about to die or bleed to death, it always say it's a Pitbull. That is not what happened. There was a case this past weekend in New York City, Judge, where the two poodles mutilated this guy, and they said on the news, MSNBC ran it for 4 hours straight, that it was a Pitbull. It was not a Pitbull. So what you're saying is that the reporting said that it was a Pitbull, and they misclassified the dog that actually did the attacking. So what's the problem with that? Well, the problem with that is that everybody think Pitbull bad dog. And then state legislators ban people. You cannot have Pitbull in circus. Cannot have Pitbull as a therapy dog. It is not fair at all. Okay. Well, we also have here the Chief Communications Officer, Mr. Jack Jackson, representing MSNBC. What is it, where did your research department get the information that it actually was a pit bull? Because I'm looking at the video right now for the first time on your channel. As a matter of fact, I see it here picture in picture that you guys ran the story for 4 hours straight. Do pit bulls have curly hair? Because it kind of looks like these two dogs here that are mutilating this man here in the Bronx had curly hair, and I'm not familiar with pit bulls having curly hair, but I'm not a dog guy, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's funny. No, actually, that's how our viewers envision pit bulls. So we generally tend to lean more to what our viewers will believe than to a genuinely factual based.
Okay, so what you're saying is that you guys reported over the video, but the video was actually showing two poodles mutilating this man, but you reported it as a pit bull because that's what people expect to hear?
We did run it by a little panel. We got a few locals in there, and they all confirmed that they thought it was pit bulls.
Okay.
So we had four people that we rounded up from outside the building.
Okay, I can see here in Exhibit A here, the panel itself. Yep. All right, so the first guy, Mr. Smith, he is a barbershop owner.
Yep. Pretty typical.
Pretty typical, okay. Then Mrs. Warfield is a car dealer.
Yeah, she's a nice lady.
Okay, and then I see also a Mr. Hollenberg, and he's actually a botanist.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the whole spectrum.
Okay, and then the last person on the panel was Mrs. Dana Patrick, a race car driver.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good friend of the network's.
All right, so that's interesting because from what I understand, none of those are dog experts, and those professions aren't necessarily indicated for identifying species and to be an expert witness on that. So why were those 4 people chosen as the people to dictate whether or not this was actually a pit bull attack versus a poodle attack?
Well, it was mainly that these people portray the point of view of a lot of our viewers on MSNBC. So what our viewers believe is fact is generally what we go on, instead of pulling in an expert from a certain subject or, something that other news networks do. We like to kind of shake it up in the newsroom, as we say it back there at MSNBC, and kind of just go off of what the viewers really think is true.
Oh, so it's almost like preaching to the choir. You just want to tell them really what they want to hear, essentially, for ratings and advertising revenue and stuff. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. See what I say, Your Honor? That's not fair. That is so mean that MSNBC would do such a thing because nobody will pet my people now. And I have a nice little bodega in the east side, and nobody will come because the pit bull sits in the front window. They think they're going to get attacked.
Excuse me, Mr. Lee. Would you mind saying Mississippi for me?
Mr. Weppy.
That's all. Sorry.
You want me to say it again?
Oh, please.
Mississippi.
Thank you for that, Mr. Lee. That's really not important, but that was a personal privilege.
Yeah, Bailiff Clive, what was the reasoning for that?
Yeah.
I saw that you had him pulled over here to the bench. That's fine. That's not a problem. Why don't you say it one more time for my accord, Mr. Lee, just so I can kind of get what you're trying to say.
So we know.
Mr. Harvey.
Oh, wow.
Junior, stop, Junior.
Maybe you want to find a speech therapist, Mr. Lee.
Oh, I try every single day. And ever since I come to the country with my baby Pitbull that was put into a bowling bag on the airplane to bring it over to the United States, I've never been able to say, Mr. Weppy.
Excuse me, Mr. Lee, on behalf of MSNBC, what we would offer to do is a nice 1-hour special on you and your experience through the point of view of our viewers.
Oh, really? You want to put me on television?
Well, we'll put what our viewers think you look like on television.
Oh, can it be on your New Year's special?
Mm-hmm.
Your New Year's special?
Yeah.
I want to come to Times Square and sit on New Year's special with Anderson Cooper.
I believe that's CNN, but I'll see what I can work out, Mr. Lee, because we do know some people. I know old Andy.
Can I bring my people?
Well, we're actually going to supply what our viewers think pit bulls look like for you, but you could bring your pit bulls to watch. They could sit on the side of the set.
Oh, that would be so great, Your Honor. I don't want to sue him no more. He is a nice guy. Mr. Jackson is a good friend now, and I don't want to sue him anymore. Can we just drop the whole thing?
Well,
let's see. My brother has never done that before.
Yeah, this is
it's new territory, Clive.
It's a precedent.
It's a precedent, and I don't know if I want to make him jealous. I mean, he might get jealous that I set a precedent on his actual courtroom.
Yeah, I mean, imagine Cliff.
Yeah. Cliff might even come back and be completely confused when you tell him what you witnessed in the courtroom today. You know what, though? I want to make a name for myself, and I think this is the right thing to do. Okay, Mr. Lee, here's what I'm going to do. I understand that you were quite upset coming in the courtroom. Obviously, if it made it this far, you had a solid case, no question about it. But it seems like Mr. Jackson has put his hand out there as a good, ethical journalist and an executive of a television network.
Thank you.
Like they all are. So I think what we'll do is here, I'm going to make a ruling here that's going to be A little bit outside the box. I'm going to dismiss it first and foremost, and I'm going to have an edict here that Mr. Lee, when he comes on the New Year's special show, New Year's special show. Yeah, when he comes on your show on New Year's, is that what you were trying to say? New Year's Eve, is that correct? Yeah, I want to be a New Year's Eve show. Okay, so when he comes on your New Year's Eve special show that you guys do every year, that his Pitbull gets to wear a pink ribbon and gets to sit next to Anderson Cooper and watch the festivities. Would that be acceptable to you?
If we can get old Andy, I'd be happy to. And do remember, it is what our viewers view his Pitbulls to look like. We will supply those, but his Pitbulls will be accommodated and.
Well, in order to make this easy, so you don't have to worry about dealing with Mr. Cooper's agency or even his contract obligations with CNN, perhaps maybe you can just have a stand-in or a hologram of what your viewers would envision Mr. Cooper to look like? Okay.
Easily.
All right, that's what we're going to do. And in this case, the case is dismissed, and everyone's going to have a good old time. And then, hey, Clive.
Yeah.
Ready to show me some moves?
Oh, you know.
Okay.
Listen to the Win podcast from the KZKO webpage or find their show streaming on YouTube. Stay tuned for Talking Points with Shabazz Davis.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back with another exciting segment for Win on KZKO The Vibe.